This all kind of come together?
Well, I've known Coach Rodriguez and a number of these guys on the staff from back when they were at West Virginia, and I was coaching at Ohio and Wake Forest. So a lot of our pass and cross. So I knew maybe some of the same people. Like Coach Meyer and Coach Rodriguez are very close. I worked for Coach Meyer this past year, and we had great success on special teams. So I think that certainly helped.
Is your background in special teams, how deep does it run?
I've always been a part of special teams, but the last probably 6 to 8 years I've been a defensive coordinator prior to last year. So been on the defensive end. When I was a head coach, I coordinated the special teams, but I ran a bunch of different teams, but these last year and the year before were the times I was helped with primarily special teams.
Rich was talking about how adding you helps add to the defensive staff. Have you talked to any of them about that role that you would serve doing that? Or?
I have. I've talked to Vince and Mark, the defense coordinator. We've talked a little bit about, where I'll fit in. Very similar to some of the structure that we had at Indiana. We were an odd front team that went to more, went to some even and coached a very similar position as the stud with Arizona. So. I'm certainly wherever they need me or wherever I can help out. Enjoyed watching the guys fly around today.
When you were the quality control coach last
year,
were you in charge of the kickers?
Just worked with the kickers and all the special teams. So I was.
And all the special teams,
yeah.
okay. Is that on field, or was that in sort of that separate category?
Mostly off field and game playing and preparation mainly.
Were you eager to get back into a full-time on-field? Is that
absolutely?
Kind of your
there was a lot of responsibility at Ohio State, but the actual out recruiting and the full-time coaching was what I was excited to get back to.
So this team struggled big time with field position last year, which I'm sure is something that Coach Rod had brought up with you when he was interviewing you or whatever. How important is it to get that fixed, and what kind of an influence can field position have?
Without question, I think that's everywhere I've been. That's been one of the staples as far as if you make a team drive the ball, the percentages of them scoring, and when they have to go to 75 versus 65. And you look at our offensive and defensive starting field position was in the 100s in the country last year. So 5-10 yards can make a huge difference in the amount of points, whether you're starting the ball in the 35 instead of 25 or starting your opponent's drive. So there's no bigger factor than special teams as far as being able to pin someone in, and I certainly saw that this year when I was at Ohio State.
So how do you go about improving that?
I think a couple of areas. Obviously, your cover teams have to improve, but basically our kickers and punters. Our kickers and punters have to be I think in every phase, whether it's the actual kicking or the coverage units. Certainly, you can. When I look back at our statistics, there's a ton of room for improvement there.
Do you watch film from last season?
I have. I haven't watched the fulls because this is my first day here.
Right.
So, but when I was looking into the job and talking to Coach, I was able to get a few games just to find out structure. What was the structure similar to what we did at Ohio State and some of the other schools I've been at. The specialists. What are our punters and kickers like?
So you obviously spent a lot of time in Ohio, you were in Indiana, Wake Forest, but you went to Air Force,
right,
and coached at Air Force
right.
as well. What is your kind of main recruiting area going to be?
I believe I've recruited out when I was at Air Force. I recruited the Inland Empire in California, and also have recruited when I was at the academy. Recruit some of Texas. So if we expand our role into Texas, I can certainly have a number of contacts there as well.
Sure. How does it feel to kind of be back there? Not all the way to the West Coast, but in the kind of the western
feels good.
Region.
Feels good, especially getting out of that cold Midwest. So it's I was the only one out there in short sleeves and shorts today. I thought it was great.
Anything else, guys?